Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Live Boldly with Sarah. I have Joe on, and I asked him to jump in to do a 15-minute podcast episode, and he does not even know what this is on.
I do not. It's not fair.
It's perfectly fair because today's conversation that I want to talk about is when you feel like you're too much for your partner. That's why I didn't say anything. Because I knew this was going to hit home. So I know in myself, this is a topic of conversation that I have a lot with clients where it's primarily women, I'm going to state it, feel like they are too much in the world and that other people feel like they are too much. And it starts to dim their own light and it starts to affect their confidence and who they are. And I know that there are a few people that Sarah Blakely, for example, that I follow on Instagram, and she has these mugs. And one of my favorite mugs that she put up that she was drinking out one morning was something to the effect of, it's not that I'm too much. Perhaps it's that you're not enough. Ooh.
Where are you going with this?
No, I'm not going anywhere with this, Joe, except that in my past, as I've looked at the career moves that I've made, the decisions that I've stepped into, the choices that I've made, the partners that I've had during my lifetime, there have been times where in the middle of it, I couldn't figure out why I was having an issue with it or why was I feeling like my confidence was being lessened or whatever you want to say, or that my light was being dimmed. And I took it very personally that it was about me, that I was the one that I was too much. And in reality, what Sarah Blakely said is exactly correct. Some people, some situations, some jobs, some careers literally don't have space for, I'm just going to state it, all of your amazingness to those people that I'm saying this to right now who have felt this way. And there we go. That is of course it goes off. I think somebody agrees with me right now.
The universe is speaking.
The universe is.
I don't know what it was telling us, but it was
speaking. It was saying she's onto something here. So I want to talk about that because I know in our relationship, that was one of the big things that I actually loved about you, is the fact that you embraced my muchness. And I felt like that was one of the big things that gave me the space, the confidence, and the ability to lean into this relationship. So this could go for anything. If it's a career change, if it is a relationship, if it like families, there are some people, not everybody needs to know what you're doing in life, by the way. And I think that a lot of us, myself included, that was a hard lesson for me to learn, that I don't have to share everything with everyone in my family, with my friends. I do, though, with you. So what do you think about this conversation? Am I too much?
We have a lot of space because we live 2,000 miles apart.
It's true. There's something about that too.
No, it's hard. I kind of know, I knew who you were. I wanted you to be you.
That's key.
But I also, sometimes for other partners too, you've done a good job of listening, and everybody has a different past, is sometimes partners can feel like when there's all this going on, that it's like, where's our space? And we've done a really good job of creating that space without just giving it to everybody else, like leftovers in the last time I was on. Mm-hmm. So we've done really good at that because it is a big adjustment. We're all different. We have different views and opinions, but letting people be who they are, as long as they're not disrespecting you, they're faithful to you and loyal. That's the key to a healthy relationship.
Have you ever felt that way, though? Have you ever been in a situation where you have felt, I'm curious about this from a male's perspective. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you were too much for either the relationship, the partnership, the friendship, the career, the position?
Yeah, I think we all do. And then there's times where I just felt like I wanted to do more, to go different places and, take more risk. And, people I was with or at a job weren't on board with that. And now I'm in a good place. My workplace is really great. They're creative. There's a lot of freedom, and my relationship is really good. And I'm grateful and blessed to have that. Um, Again, not that we don't have our moments when we discuss stuff, but I mean, that's all part of it is communication, but letting that person be who they are. Like, I want you to succeed. Um, Me personally, as the male, the traditional protective role is I sometimes get a little anxiety because I want to protect you. Like,
Ah,
you put so much out there. I'm worried that, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. But it's the worry of others. What are their intentions? Are you going to be in a safe situation? So I think that for me personally, that's the hardest one with you, especially since we're so far apart at this moment, in between our visits.
yeah. Yeah. So it's more so because I am an absolute hugger and I will talk to anybody. I've always been that way. I, he knows that. My clients are going to laugh right now hearing this because they know that when I'm on the trail as well, I literally will talk to everybody that passes you.
Mhm.
Because I do think the thing that I find is that everyone has something to give in terms of a lesson or a, a story, or, just like learning from even people that you think are strangers. And then you start talking and you realize that there's so much commonality, and they all of a sudden become like connected to you, right?
Mhm.
And so that's interesting about the whole safety thing. And also, I've been so independent for a long time. I mean, even
Right.
in my marriage, I was extremely independent. And so independence is something that has been such a huge part of my life. And then stepping into this and knowing that I can depend on you, it's been an interesting learning curve for me in a very good way, because I've never had that person to lean on. And then I look back in my own relationships and where I was taking things personally when people would say, oh, you're too this or you're too that or you're too this or too that. And now I'm realizing it wasn't about me. It was the projection of them, because in this relationship, you do let me be who I need to be. It's not even want to be, it's who I need to be, because that's who I am as a human,
Right.
which it's the same with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want you to succeed. I want you to step into all the spaces that
Yeah.
you want to in life.
Yeah. I mean, in a healthy relationship, you want that for each other.
Yeah.
Um, it's just there's sometimes moments that you can have where it's like, hey, let's pull it back a little, you know.
What
And I think
about
that's the healthy balance is, you always create space for the relationship. Don't let everything else, like you even said the other day, like I need to learn to say no better. So
me?
yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes, you don't have to agree or go out to every party dinner. It's like sometimes you can say no. Sometimes it's cool to just sit in at home and have a pizza and watch a movie.
Which is something that we just did a couple nights
Yeah.
ago, which is extremely rare for me.
Yeah.
Extremely rare. I don't watch TV and I don't watch
Yeah.
movies. I don't watch any of it.
Me neither that much
And
anymore.
that was nice.
But just giving each other that so you can appreciate the other times. I mean, just make sure you're creating that space.
Okay. So I'm stepping more in. I've got this rebrand coming out, and it will be out by the time that this actually launches. A new website. My entire business has gone in a new direction. When I met you in we reconnected in August of 2023.
Yeah.
And that's when I was actually just starting it. And I was moving away from leading retreats and knowing that I wanted more of a stage presence to be able to impact more people in one room at one time with my message. And right away, I was thinking, oh my gosh, how is he going to be able to handle this? Because if I'm standing in front of 1,000, 2,000 whatever people and, delivering this message, and how is he going to be able to take the light, right? Like, is it going to be too much for you? And what do you want to say anything about this? Like,
No, I just
how have you
reflect.
been able to support me through this? Because I'm going to tell you that a lot of people would not be able to do that. It's especially through the ups and the downs that I've also had in this rebrand, which has been extremely emotional and time consuming and a huge investment.
Because of how you communicated and how we communicated. You told me your vision, your purpose, why you were doing it, and what you were doing. You weren't just doing it and blowing me off. You kept me involved in your passion and vision and goals. And then therefore I could understand it better and then give you support for it. So just you like involving me and keeping me just really doing a good job of communicating. Like even early on, you would say, am I going to be too much for you? I mean, you were really good at just, especially coming from where I was, pretty vulnerable at that point. It was just like you were really good at just saying, is this going to be too much? You kept reminding me and like, hey, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. Instead of just faking it, being somebody else, and then dropping a bomb on me where I was like, wow, I had no idea. I'm not on board with this.
Ah, dang. Can we give that one?
And by the way, I'm shy by nature. I don't know how I even spit that stuff out. I didn't write it down or
You are really shy by nature.
I am.
He is. He actually, like, you are. I mean, when I was to be honest, when I was in high school and I had a crush on you back when I was like a freshman, right? And I remember actually even back then, I was a lot. Yeah. I mean, I was not a cheerleader. Everybody seems to think that I was a cheerleader. Girl was not a cheerleader. I was in sports, and I remember even back then thinking like, man, like I laugh loud, I am loud, I love to be like, I love to just like love life. And even back then I was like, man, I'm way too much for him. He's so quiet compared to me. And yet, like I told you, I was always like, I wonder what's happening in his head right now. Wonder what he's thinking about this.
And then and now I'm too much for her. No, but you've taken me to that next level of I've gotten better and better with the shyness thing, but still, when you go out with you and meeting all these new people out in California, please, all of you, if you're watching this, I'm not a jerk. I do like you all, and I'm catching up to this, and it takes me a while to feel comfortable. So please don't think I'm a jerk.
Takes a little bit to catch up to this.
So don't be shy. Come say hi. Is that your new slogan? Don't be shy. Come say hi.
Oh my Lord. Okay. So I was thinking about when we were sitting here and I was like, Joe, you do a podcast episode with me. And he's like, what is it going to be on? And I said, I'm not going to tell you. Just jump in. I was thinking about 3 things that will help people who are feeling like they are too much to be able to work through that and understand that they're not too much. They are exactly as they need to be, right? They're perfect as they are. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that it worked for me also is listing down and taking inventory of the most amazing parts of who you are, where I've always known, I'm like, I love my laugh. I love life. Like, I love the fact that I love life because I watch so many people who are extremely miserable in their world. And I'm like, I don't want to be that. And so list out all of the things about you. I'm going to do something here that you really do love about yourself. And so we're going to flip the script though. I'm going to ask you, give me the top 3 things that you love about me and my personality.
You're positive. Being that person. So going back to the communication, like for you people that think you're too much and you're holding back for your partner, instead keep being who you are, which you do, but have the conversation with your partner. have compassion and listen to them if you want them to support you in being too much.
Being too much.
um, just your energy, how even if we have a bad day, we can always get back to a good place because we are passionate about what we do. You're extremely passionate and you're um well, just an amazing person.
Oh, thanks.
It,
Okay, I'm gonna flip the script on you. You ready for this one? Look into my eyes, Joe. I'm gonna give it to you. Okay. I would say the first thing is you're an incredible father and grandfather. Yeah, he is a
Thank you.
grandfather. Can you believe that? And you're very, very passionate about your girls and like just being there for them. The second thing I would say is your adventure. It's been really fun to witness the adventure come out of you. And the third thing is absolutely the communication. 100% hands down. Actually, I could keep rambling. Love how much you support me and what I want to do in life. And your understanding during those moments when I'm just not 100%.
See, you should have went first, so mine could have been better. And I'd say you are an amazing mom.
Oh, thank
I mean,
you.
oh my
Thank
Lord. Everything you've done is amazing. Two, you're like an amazing partner that communicates well, without losing your passion for everything you do. And three, you stick to your values.
That is true.
You stick to your values. And
It's very true.
You remind me of that on a regular basis. And yeah, you're just an amazing, hardworking, passionate, kind person. Yeah, I couldn't be more grateful.
Yeah, I do stick to my values. I'm very clear on that one. So the other thing is the second thing. So that was number one. Do that with your partners or with your kids or whomever. That was cool. The second thing I was going to say is to challenge the critical thoughts of others. In other words, when people are telling you what they're thinking about you, challenge that with yourself even, right? So, because remember that when people are saying you're too much or that you should be this way or you should be that way or whatever it is, that's simply a projection of themselves and it's their thoughts, right? So you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, because I sometimes do that to you. And then I explain it. I said, I know that it's not your fault or we don't agree on it, but that's just where it was coming from my end. And then just letting people get to you and worrying about trying to make amends. And really, they're the one that is just more times than not, they're unhappy with their current situation. So even though they don't see all the hard work and effort that you put in there, they just see this happiness. They sometimes think like, I wish it was that easy. I wish I was like you. Or,
yeah,
why are you so happy all the time? How come I'm not? I deserve that.
Yeah.
So like you said, as I'm rambling there, don't take everything so personally because it's probably that person almost always dealing more with themselves and their lives to projecting on you.
Yeah. Yeah. We challenge each other really well.
Yeah.
We do. And the third thing that I was thinking about was setting boundaries with people's feedback, because not all feedback deserves to have space in your head. I think that's been one of the biggest things for me is remembering that where I used to take feedback very personally and internally and think, okay, I need to learn from this. I need to become better from this or X, Y, Z. Not all of what people are giving you deserves space within your life, right? Because, you know you more than anybody knows you, especially like what you said. I know my values. And if anybody has not done values work, go back to doing the values work because it is key. And when you know your values and you know who you are, you know your principles, you know what you walk in, all the rest of the noise becomes silent because you just don't care. And I think that's been the biggest thing for me in my journey over the last 12 years since everything happened is in this evolution of becoming who I am And this was what I communicated to you when I met you again, was like, I'm not the same person I was for sure when I was 14 back in high
Yeah.
school, or even since we graduated, or even, through the years that maybe you've watched me on social media or whatever the heck, because we didn't talk. That said, the evolution of me through my life since everything happened and becoming who I am today, I don't want to stop that. Right. And that's like, when you get a taste of what it is to reinvent yourself and to continue to grow and continue to become and continue to have all of these super cool advances in your life, it's like, I don't want to stop that. And that was my conversation with you through all of this, through this rebrand and stepping into this next space for me, was like, Joe, I'm not going to sacrifice all this work that I've done for anything, right? Like, I don't want to. And because then what it's doing is it's stepping on my values and who I am as a woman and as a mom and as a partner and as all of it. I did that for a number of years. I moved across the country for my now ex-husband. I quit teaching for him because I supported his career. There's so many sacrifices that I've made in my life for my kids and for my marriage, now divorce. And so it was like, I only want to add to the partnership. And I want to add to the partnership by the gifts that I come with. And so let me show my gifts and be who I am so that I can only add to what is ultimately the creation of us. Right. And so I think that has been the biggest thing for me in all of this, is realizing that, my much is pretty damn cool. And your much is pretty damn cool. And for all of you that are wondering about, like, is my much too much? It's not. Your much is perfect. Your much is perfect.
Yeah.
You want to add anything? Because I just rambled.
I'll keep it short and sweet. Just holding to your values and keeping your boundaries. You're not going to make everybody happy. I mean, everybody knows that. So don't give up your values, your dreams, your goals, and question yourself because somebody's getting upset with you. And a lot of times it's because you used to be there for them all the time or do everything for them.
That's true.
And it's a tough one, especially when it's family members. That's the toughest ones, is when they get upset. And it's like, you don't love them any less. You're just like, you're moving forward to a better place, which is better for them and setting better examples for them because you want them to have the same happiness. I tell my kids that all the time. I'm doing these things and I want you to watch it because I want you to get there quicker than I did. Right? If I can share what I've learned, or somebody would have told me all the stuff I know now when I was, 16, 20, 30, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
That would have been a game changer.
Yeah. You're a smart human.
You're supposed to call me a smart dog.
Oh gosh. All right. So with our much and sharing what we've learned through the years and some of the techniques to use. First thing is, list what you love about yourself. Second, challenge the critical thoughts of others and the feedback. Set boundaries, and you are perfect as you are. Always remember that. I think that's it. Anything else? No? Okay.
Peace out.
Peace out. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. We hope this helped you as much as all this learning has helped us through the years, so you can get there faster too. So forward this to your friends, to those people that you care about. Just post it in social media, tag me, and I would love to reshare. And if you have not subscribed to the website to the podcast yet, please go do so. Leave a review, rate review, because that helps us. And go check out my new website, sarahschultencrans.com. Super stoked about that. My new speaking reel is in there. And message me if you are looking for a motivational speaker that can do a heck of a lot of guidance on resilience, problem solving, and leadership, team building, all of it. We will talk to you soon. Thank you. Until the next episode.
Thank you.
Good job, Joe.